I just completed 7 days of eating nothing but sugar. And by sugar, I mean fruit, fruit juice, cane sugar, and honey. That's literally it for 7 days straight. I started the experiment at 179.4 pounds. I ended at 181.4 pounds. But what's interesting is my body composition improved despite the scale weight increasing. And that's why I tell you, and I tell everybody, don't really pay attention to the scale weight, right? It's really the trend of the scale weight that matters on the long term to know if you're truly losing fat at a plateau, gaining fat, whatever it might be. If the scale weight is going down over time, that's what matters. And really, I experienced zero muscle loss. So, what's crazy about this sugar fast, right, is you're eating literally no protein. There is some protein in fruits, but it's not like we're getting the zero point 0.8 of a gram to your body weight, right, on this diet or on this fast, because again, the sugar fast and the sugar diet are two completely separate things. And later in this video, I'm going to talk about the crazy weight drop that I had when I actually transitioned to the sugar diet from the sugar fast. So the numbers don't lie, right? The water fast context, just so you guys absolutely know all the different variables that could have affected this, right? I do a 36-hour water fast every week. This usually goes from a Tuesday night to a Thursday morning. Sometimes I'll even take it longer than that. So 6'4" on the morning before the water fast, I was 186.8 pounds. On 6'5" the morning after, I was 179.8 pounds. And then I started the sugar protocol that day, right? And then on 6'6" that morning, I was 179.4 pounds, which was day 2 of starting the sugar fast. So I started at 179.4 pounds, right? Day 2 of the protocol. I ended at 181.4 pounds. So also a little bit more context, because it's like, oh yeah, how the scale weight changed and all this different stuff. Like, we have to look at the historical data of what I was doing at least 2 weeks before and what my weight was then. So the scale trend weight to the week prior was 185.8 pounds. I was eating on average 4,400 calories a day. I had my wife's birthday. We went out to Fogo de Chao. I had a 10,000 calorie day that day. We had Memorial Day. We had a cookout. Had a high calorie day that day, and then other things sprinkled in. But the scale trend weight prior to that was 179.2 pounds. And on that week, I was averaging 3,000 calories a day. And then, so the net result was that I was still trending down despite weight gain on the sugar fast, right? So day 1, I went from 179.8 to 179.4. Day 2, 180.8 pounds. Day 3, 182 pounds. Day 4, 182.6 pounds. Day 5, 183.8 pounds. Day 6, 183.4 pounds. And then day 7, 181.4 pounds. Now, again, the scale only tells one part of the story. So looking at the pictures, I had a before picture and after picture that I'm going to show you here now. This was when I started, and then this is when I ended. So I don't expect a ton from 7 days, of course, but you can definitely see that I have a tighter physique, a little more definition, despite the higher weight, of course. And you can just see the difference there. You guys can tell me if there was a difference on the sugar fast. I definitely can say there was. So super interesting to at least see the side by side, day 1, then day 7. So energy and performance. This was pretty surprising, but so working, because the whole concept of doing the sugar fast or sugar diet, right, is that you're actually getting more energy, but you're keeping your body in a fat loss burning state, right? And from a combination of what I would say is caloric deficit, plus you're also activating the FGF21 hormone and elevating that. So there's definitely a multitude of things that are working in your favor on this. But one of the biggest things is that if you could actually have energy while you are actually losing fat, especially at already lean levels, that's where this is a crazy awesome tool. So here's my energy and performance results. So working from home days. A part of this fast, I was actually working from home. So on those days, I was able to get fruit whenever I wanted. I was able to munch a ton of fruit and all that fun stuff. And my energy levels were amazing when I had a constant influx of fruit. I hit 20,000 steps, no problem, on my walking desk, and my focus was really good and sustained. My office days, so when I actually went to the office, it was a little bit of a challenge because you can only pack up so much fruit when you travel to the office, right? Yes, you can grab a banana on your way out. Yes, you can get some oranges on and things like that, but I'm walking on my walking desk even at work. So I'm putting out a lot of energy and I need a lot of fruit to sustain that. And so you can only pack so much fruit, you know, at some point it kind of gets a little ridiculous. Like, okay, I'm gonna take 5 oranges, 2 bananas, a melon, right? I had a whole melon on my desk one day and I cut it open. um, and then energy crashes. This is really because of my high level of exertion, but at times on high exertion days like the 20,000 steps and really just go, 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 like we had a conference, different things. If I went too long without eating fruit, I could definitely tell there was a dip. But if I was just able to eat more fruit, it would go right back up. So the lesson is just I need to plan better for office days and go get fruit smoothies, etc. There's just not a lot of great options close by, and I'm usually like, okay, not eating most of the day, so I'm not really used to that. I usually do OMAD, so I'm not usually breaking my fast until about 5 o'clock. But when you're eating fruit in the morning and you're starting your day like that, your body's like craving, wanting to eat. Um, and that's definitely something. So workout performance, this was awesome. My strength, you know, stayed the same and some lifts actually went up. Muscle pumps were insanely good. Glycogen was maxed out. Recovery was really good. And then evening energy, I was able to go to sleep no problem, but evening energy, I actually wanted to add in some training sessions at night. So I was hitting some abs. I had a little good burst of energy. And that was new because I just don't do that. I'm usually relaxing, all that different stuff. And no, I actually had more energy, wanted to go on walks with my wife, all those different things. And, some unexpected discoveries. So I actually experimented with a sugar fast, not the day before, but I think it was 2 days before. And that was when I had heard, man, just eat as unlimited sugar, doesn't matter. You can do a pound of honey a day. It's not going to affect you, all that stuff. I watched an anabology podcast and I get it. I went overboard. I just wanted to try it. So I'm the guinea pig, but I ate like a pound of honey. I ate tons of fruit. I ate every kind of fruit there was, right? So I ate high FODMAP foods. I ate low FODMAP foods. I ate all the fruits, even some that I know don't really uh, sit well with me, like apples for some reason haven't been. Um, and what's funny with that is like I tested it, I way overdid it with the high FODMAP fruits and honey. I literally almost ate a pound of honey. The result was literally the worst gas and worst digestive issues I've had in my life. Seriously. I was burping, I was farting. It was gross. So definitely don't recommend that. Don't go overboard. Be reasonable. And lesson is, make sure your fruit choice is sound and how much you actually eat of the fruit. And honey matters a lot. Honey can be extremely high FODMAP, give you a lot of digestive issues if you eat a lot. So that's just for some people. Some people might not have a problem with it. I was definitely one of the people that had a problem with it. Sleep quality. So my sleep was really, really well, even though I was peeing a lot more. I usually get up at least once a night to pee anyway. So it really was some nights on the fruit, on the sugar fast, I was getting up twice, but most nights was still once. It was actually kind of early in the night. And then what was so cool is I was actually able to go to sleep right away. Nowadays, even currently, I actually kind of struggle with that sometimes. I'll get up when I need to pee at night, and then I kind of struggle to go back to bed. But I noticed with the sugar fast that I was sleeping very, very soundly, and I was able to go to bed after getting up to pee, which was awesome. And overall, was just way better than expected. So I'm really looking forward to throwing, some sugar fast in their sugar diet, and really to even help me maybe with my sleep over time because I was sleeping great. So I'm looking forward to experimenting more as well with that. But and zero muscle loss, right? You can see on the pictures that I had showed, but the strength stayed solid without hitting protein targets, right? Some lifts actually went up, and this goes against everything we've been told. So the reality check, what got hard is day 5 plus, I really was starting to crave protein and starches, right? Smelling my wife making her ground beef and the sweet potato in the air fryer and all that different stuff. It just smells so good. And I was definitely looking forward to getting those back. So, and then it just kind of got boring. 7 days straight of just sugar gets old. So, is this a permanent tool kit addition? Will I use this again? Absolutely, but smarter this time. So, how I'll actually use it. So, sugar diet 2 to 3 times per week as a tool to get extremely lean or reset, and then just not 7 days straight of sugar only. I don't think this is necessary. Again, I was the guinea pig here. I was, I followed along with the challenge there, and I wanted to provide some data. So, next thing I want to test, just throwing in 2 to 3 sugar diet days a week. And then also, I want to test Mark Bell's smelly protocol. So, his protocol is 2 days sugar fast, 1 day sugar diet, then you repeat, and then you have a cheat day. I think this is pretty reasonable. And like I said, we had an interesting experience after transitioning to the sugar diet from the sugar fast, and super awesome what can happen. So I'm just looking forward just to testing out a little more and using this. So who should try this? So I think, you can try it if you're already lean. I want to experiment with this as a fat loss tool while keeping your energy at aggressive deficits. I think it could be a great tool there. You're curious about testing this FGF21 activation and metabolic rate shifts that everyone's talking about. Again, I think it's just a cool experiment just to see. I don't think we can discount stuff until we try it for ourselves. And there's definitely some validity with this in some capacity. And maybe you've tried other diets, but you haven't found one that feels sustainable. You know, I've heard it said that the best diet is the one that you can stick to. So if you can stick to this, you can stick to the sugar diet where you're eating fruit pretty much all day long, and then you break it with a lean protein and a starch, then do it. That's awesome. And whatever is going to help you on, your fat loss journey is the one that you should do. And then if you're open to exploring insulin sensitivity and glucose sparing effects that the research is showing, again, just experimenting and seeing, does this actually help? Does this help better than some of the things I've tried in the past? And then skip if you're new to dieting, just stick to the basics. It really comes in to being at a caloric deficit. Keep your protein high, you know, um, and then, there's plenty of calculators online that can help you really put it into reason what your calories should be to start losing uh, weight. And if you're new to dieting, just stick to the basics. I'll put some, you know, resources in the future on this channel for that. Let me know if you guys want to learn more. And then if you have blood sugar or metabolic issues, consult a doctor first. Of course, none of us we're not doctors, so consult your doctor if you have any hesitation on trying this. And if you think this is some magic fix, like I think kind of proves it. Even one day I ate 1,000 grams of carbs, right? And it's not a magic fix. I, it's not a magic fix in the sense of you're not going to lose 10 to 20 pounds of fat overnight. You know, it's definitely going to help you in losing fat over time. Like there's no way you can just really just eat fruits, a lean protein, and a starch at night and not lose fat. You're going to put yourself, even just from basic fundamentals, more than likely in a caloric deficit. It's going to be very hard to overdo it. With the research showing the FGF21 activation, the metabolic shifts that can be added on top of that, you're probably going to lose fat, and it's going to be a reasonable approach. But it's not just a magic fix. There's nothing magic about this that's different in reason, obviously. And then my fat loss tools. So 94 weeks, I've had a 94-week streak of 36-hour water fasts. I still am a big fan of those. OMAD, so 1 meal a day, and intermittent fasting, 20,000 plus daily steps. I use a walking desk treadmill while I'm working, while I'm filming, anything like that. I'm always habit stacking. I resistance train at least 3 times a week, usually hit abs on the days other than that, just core, keeping that strong. And then a weekly cheat meal just gives me my brain a good reset. And then I will be adding in sugar fast and sugar diets into my toolkit. I think they're awesome overall, and definitely something I'm going to use. So what am I doing now? Right. So on day 8, right, I finished day 7. Then on day 8, I transitioned to the sugar diet protocol, right, which is the beginning, just fruit juice, honey, all that, and then ending with a lean protein and a starch. So what I did was I ate 99% turkey with 93.7 beef. I mixed that together plus sweet potato. This felt honestly way more sustainable, so I'm excited to add this in more. And then the weight the morning after was 179.8 pounds. Huge difference, right? Literally dropped from 181.4 pounds to 179.8 pounds, literally just with this one day. Again, so much stuff goes into that: sodium, water retention, stress, sleep, so many things, carbs, how much water you're retaining. There's so much. So, and then day 9, I had a normal day of eating. So, OMAD all the way to about 5 o'clock. I ate 3,000 calories. I ate, some salmon. I finished off some of the turkey, the beef, and had, sweet potato, protein pancake made out of eggs, etc. That morning, which is this morning, I was 183.4 pounds. So just to give you guys perspective, right? Don't the scale weight really doesn't matter over time. It's just what the trend of the scale is what matters over time. And then on day 10, that's technically right now, today, as I'm filming this. So I'm on it now to keep my weekly streak. I want to get that 95th week. I'm not going to break it. It's actually Saturday when I'm doing this, so to be decided. But more than likely, I'll be under 180 tomorrow. And then what is next? Coming up, I want to test the sugar diet more. I want to really put it to the test. You can only know so much, even in 7 days. Like I just did just the sugar fast. I've experimented with the sugar diet some, but I really think this can be a great tool, and we'll be bringing more content on that. And then Mark Bell's Smelly protocol for this. So just that oscillation of 2 fast days, 1 diet day, repeating it, and then doing a cheat meal. I think that's pretty cool. In your turn, did you experiment with this? Let me know in the comments down below what your results were. And do you want me to make videos on any of my other fat loss tools? Anything that you guys really want to see that I've mentioned? I would love to make some content that's valuable to you guys. So just let me know in the comment section down below. So just drop your suggestions there, and then subscribe to follow along with these experiments and just different fat loss tools, tips, anything like that. And then make sure to hit that like button if this was valuable. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you're liking this style of videos, and I'll talk to you soon.